start of the Troubles, Craigan became a no-go area. So that a no-go area, and that we were officially, Craigan was officially known as a no-go area. And that basically meant that the British Army or the police weren't welcome into the area. So every street in this big estate had a barricade made out of hijacked vehicles put across the road or rubble from pavements that were dug up and broken up and all that. And the purpose of these barricades were to stop the military or the police coming into the area easily. So every street had a vigilante hut at the end of the street. And that was like a workman's hut that the men out of the area used to maybe sit in at night to keep an eye out in case there was an alarm needed to be raised if the army or the police were trying to infiltrate the area. But during the day and early evening, we as children used to play in these barricades. These barricades were our playground. And we used to hang around them, the vigilante hut. And I remember Jim Bradley, with his guitar, at times used to come up and play the guitar. And I used to look at him and think he was fantastic. You know, a guitar player. And I used to look at him and think, God, I would love to be able to play the guitar. And I remember him one time, you know, taking my finger and pressing it onto the string. And I remember thinking it was very sober, pressing the guitar string. So I had a real interest. And then what happened with me then was, after I lost my sight, and I'm sure my mommy and daddy were struggling to think, what would Richard do? I played football, enjoyed a bit of football, and done all the games that children do. So then when you lose your sight, the way that I lost my sight, then some of those things just didn't naturally fall into place anymore. But I was at a family wedding, and the wedding was in the bride's house. My brother was getting married, and the wedding was held in his new wife's house, the wedding reception. And her brother was a guy called Lorne Dean. And Lorne played the guitar at the wedding. And I remember sitting in the house, and I was blind then. And Lorne came down and set the guitar on my knee. And I remember just, feeling it really and trying to strum it a bit. Obviously, there was no chords or anything musical, just a noise. But I remember saying to my mommy or my daddy, I'd love to learn the guitar. And like magic, 4 days later, a guitar with an amplifier arrived in my house. And that was the beginning of my guitar journey.
So leading off of that, Richard, can you share a little bit how music has maybe helped you in times of hardship and both playing as well as listening?
I suppose music played a big part in my social life. Because I was blind then, as I mentioned already, I wasn't going to go out and play football with my friends and things like that. And, maybe a lot of disabled people have the challenge of where they fit in a way. I can't speak for every disabled person, but, I wonder, does that be a challenge for a lot of disabled people? I guess it does for some. And I suppose for me, music became my social outlet. And I was beginning to mix with other people who played the guitar. My